All right, fellas. So I just walked all the way back because I was in the middle of getting started working, and then I remembered that Aiden wanted me to make a video on how to build a stove, which is what I'm doing now. So yeah, this was not planned at all. So hi. Alrighty. So I'm going to be building a brick stove. Let me see if, there the lighting is better. And I'm also looking right into the sun, but it'll be fine. Okay, so, yeah, I'm building a stove, and there's a bunch of different ways you could do this. You can even just do this piling rocks up or stuff like that. Or you could buy a cast iron stove if that's your thing. But I'm gonna show you how to build one out of bricks this time. And you could, oh, okay, yeah, sorry, I'm a bit disorientated. Everything turned pink a moment ago. I might be dying. So you could make your own bricks out of clay, or you could buy bricks, and in my opinion, really any type of brick will do. But, I mean, just make sure they aren't the kind that'll explode. No, I will not elaborate. I've got a big pile of fire bricks, and that's what I'm going to use. But you don't even need mortar for a lot of designs. For the one I'm going to use, I want mortar because I got to kind of level stuff. Yeah, so I'll show you what I'm doing afterwards. But for now, all you need to know is I'm going to get some clay, and I'm going to use it as mortar. I may or may not know what I'm doing. We will find out. Yeah. So what I got here is I've pulled this sled out here, and I've got a pickaxe and a shovel. And this right here is a drainage ditch. And all of that is really, really good clay. It's just all clay. It's a massive clay bed. It is also a drainage ditch, so it's full of water. So this is gonna be fun, but hopefully I will still be able to get some clay out. Also, it's covered in snow and it's probably frozen, which means this is gonna be really fun to work with in the Dwarf Fortress motto of losing is fun. I have no idea how this is gonna work. I have done only a very little bit of work with clay before, and that was in the summer. This is not the summer. So we will see how this goes, and stay tuned, I guess, if you want to. Alrighty, so I have just dug a little bit down into here. It's all covered in snow, so it's kind of hard to see, but that is clay. And I even went over and got some from the other side. And I've got just about this much clay, and it's mixed with a whole bunch of ice. So I don't know how much clay is in there, but if it isn't enough, I could always walk right back out here with this sled and shovel some more in. Well, I'm gonna hope that's enough, and I'm gonna go cart it off to my cabin. See you then. All right, so some time has passed. I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but I got the clay. One thing I want to point out is, look at this right here. This is just like the kind of sled you sit on and you go down the hill. They're useful for a lot more than that. This one is very, like, I thought it was weak, but it's actually quite strong, quite durable. As you can see, I've got a load of clay here. I've got my water, I've got my coffee, I got my hammer, I got my trowel, I got my pots and pans. I've got a whole lot of stuff in there. I took two of these full of bricks way down that way, down a hill, down to my cabin, and it's fine. And it's a light and easy thing to carry around when it's empty too. And like, I can, this thing just breezes past very easily. Right now, this has been, whatchamacallit, snow blown, but before it was going lightly over the top of the snow. I'd even just like I'd pull it behind me in my footsteps, the holes that my feet left, and it would smooth it out and make a nice path. It can go in pretty much any snow. Very good thing. I think at least every household should have one of these. They're good stuff. Alrighty, so I'm back out here at the cabin, and I've got my load of clay. So these are the bricks I'm going to use, and they're actually fire bricks from an old, it was a tile factory, and they were selling off the bricks from their ovens. And yeah, so this is my cabin. It's a sauna cabin, but yeah. I need to patch up all the holes. I might have forgotten to do that. Oh yeah, I was in the middle of patching. Okay, yeah, I've got some more work to do on this. So as you can see, there's a chimney here. Yeah, and my sauna heater had been right there, but it did not work. It smoked me out of the hut every single time. So I'm building something new, and lovely things there. So I'm gonna build this stove right about there, and it's a little bit cramped in here. As you can see, it's not bad. I've got a bench here, and you could fit a whole bunch of people in here if you needed to. More than big enough for a single person, but I don't want to take up too much of my floor space by building this stove. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take right here, and this is those boards have been holding up my heater, and I think I had some rocks under it or something, I don't know. So I got to flatten this out because I'm working with flat bricks now, and yeah, we'll see how I do that. Alrighty, so given that I haven't really worked with clay before, this is highly experimental. I have no idea if this is going to work. So I got this clay here. Some of it's pretty well frozen, and there's some rocks mixed in. So I gotta get the rocks out of it. So I don't want a bunch of rocks in here. And I'm just throwing them out the door. And thankfully it's warmed up today, so it's kind of soft even though it's got ice mixed in. Such that I can just break this right up with the trowel. Yeah, so there we go. I just want it nice and soft. I hear a rock in there. Like that. And yeah, so now I'm going to, is this a terrible idea? Maybe it is. I'm pouring some water in there. No, I don't want to use my hands. I should use my hands, but I don't want to because it is cold. And yes, this is an old trash can lid. So, if what I remembered from my art class when I took pottery is right, I gotta mix this right up into sort of sloppy mess with just enough integrity that I can sort of paint it in there. And it's about at that level right now. Alright, so let's start with this big crack here. I want to level that off because I want a nice flat base for everything. And so I'm just going to slap it in there, smooth it out. father were seeing this, he'd probably be looking on in horror. But as he would say, it's only a chicken coop. Alrighty. It should be noted that I have no idea what I'm doing, but after I do this and it works, I'm probably still going to claim credit for it. So yeah, there. I was going to expand this and make a sort of pad, but I think I would need a form, and I do not have a form, so I am not going to do that. I'm just going to hope that everything lines up, and it won't, but it'll be fine. Yeah. It's only a chicken coop. See, I have taken that kind of janky platform and shoved rocks in when stuff wasn't flat. What does that sound? What is broken in here? And I have just sort of laid platform of bricks on top of it. And now I'm going to start building the oven. And there's got to be a chimney at some point that goes up there, but I will deal with that when I deal with it. I'm currently deciding whether to make it more stable by doing it that way, more sizable by doing it that way. I have not decided yet. I'm not a terribly good bricklayer, but yeah, we will see what I will do. Alrighty, so I decided to go for the greater stability. I put them like that instead of like that, even though putting them like that would have given me greater space in there. The bricks just didn't quite line up the way I wanted them to, so I did not do it that way. Yeah. Oh, I'm just laying them like this to start with. I'm going to mortar it, but I'm just laying it like this to figure out how it's going to be, and then when I put it all together, I'm going to mortar it. One thing to note is, if it all just fits together nice and snug without any mortar, don't put any mortar. Mortar is just like for example, these two ones didn't fit well, so I slapped a whole bunch in there, and now they fit. So if they don't fit well, slap it in there. If they fit well, don't. And you can use it to fill in cracks, like that. You gotta get it fairly wet. I believe it was called slip, if you are into pottery. You make it into that, and that's what you do. And yeah, cool. A lot of the time, you got to be kind of creative with how you put the bricks. Like, I came into a problem because I didn't have anything wide enough to span it. It's exactly one brick wide, the opening. All of my bricks are one brick long. So I didn't have anything that could possibly span it. So I just stood one of these bricks. Alrighty, so I'm back out here, and it's done. There. And yeah, so I figured I'd just finish it and show you how I did it afterwards. So, you need a big tray or something. What you can do is, you could, if you wanted to, make the opening at the top smaller, such that a smaller pan could fit across it. But I had this big one, and so I'm using it. Have it closed with a lid, but you could even cross it. Alrighty, so you see how I'm joining it, obviously. And it's just a sort of box. The opening this is just to let air in. You actually feed it through the top. I mean, you can stick some sticks in there when you're in the middle of it, and then it goes off that way to the chimney, which I just made however I could. You notice the chimney's a bit rougher than the rest, but it fits mostly together. It isn't gonna fall apart on me, I hope. So the air goes in through the bottom, feeds that fire. Fire comes up, heats whatever you got on the stove there, and the smoke should go up through the chimney and out. And I want to have that all the way up, but I ran out of bricks. I've got a big pile in there. I just got to sled them out here again. I want that chimney higher. I want it going all the way accurately. And yeah, but for now this should work. And now I got to fire it up. We will see. So I'm not too terribly good at starting fires. Oh yeah, it's going out. But basically you put the easily flammable stuff, the tissue paper, the cardboard, whatever, towards the bottom, and you stack a whole bunch of smaller sticks on top that'll catch fire. This one I can only really fit smaller sticks in it, period, so it's a lot easier. So if I put this lid on, what should be happening is the air should be going through there and coming out there, and there shouldn't be too much smoke, but as you can see, because this isn't made perfectly, it's just coming out from under the lid and going there. But the chimney's working fine, and when I start seeing clouds of smoke up there, that's when the problem comes. But it seems to be working fine, and yeah, so that's that. It seems like it's died out. I gotta get it really going, but yeah. I ended up putting a much taller chimney on it. So yes, I whacked a bigger hole in my wall. And yeah, it is working fine. It's a little smoky in here, but that's because I just started it up again. And ignore the fact that the chimney's kind of bent. It'll be fine, I'm sure. Yeah, there's a little fire in there. And, yeah. So it seems to be working fine now. So, that's, yeah.